Everyone. Morning. Morning. This week it's special days coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday in the Chabad calendar. It's the day of 12th and 13th day of Tammuz, and also next comes. And then we're gonna have the starting on Sunday after right? And then Sunday starts Shiva. So the Tammuz starts in 3 weeks. Ah, okay. So,
By the way, next Sunday is no breakfast, but Mincha and Arvit, and we have breaking the fast. We have some stuff.
we have a late breakfast. Yeah, sure. So we're going to discuss today the month of Tammuz. So we just mentioned there's different types of days in this month. So we're wondering what's so special about Shivas B'Tammuz, right? So we know that every month has is different than the other month, right? Every month has a different mavel, right? In Kabbalah we know that Hashem's name, 4-letter Yud K Vav K, every month has a different combination. There's different energy every single month. Right, that's what a Mishnah Chassidim, right? And Mazalas is pretty famously known. So we understand that every month has a different theme, a different energy. And when we look at the days of the month, so we're able to get some sort of idea of what the month's about. For example, the month of Adar. You have the days of Purim. And the days of Purim, it says in the Megillah, the month was changed into happy month. Everyone knows Mishenichnas Adar, right? When Adar comes in, we start not only by Purim, starting from the beginning of Adar. That's what the Gemara says. Starting from the beginning of Adar, already we're starting being happy, which means the days of Purim, which is only a day or two, Purim, Shoshan Purim, that transformed the entire month. That the whole month became a happy month. Right? It says that the halakha is that you're allowed to read the Megillah the whole month. That's based on Yishalmi. The Ramah says that's the minik. Even though many maybe are thinking that what do you mean? The Mishnah says the Megillah is only read from Yud Aleph. That's in the Gemara Bavli, but in the Yishalmi says you can read the Megillah already from the beginning of the month. The whole month became a month of happiness because it has Purim in it. Let's look at another month. Let's look at the month of Nisan. Nisan, what happened in Nisan? We had Pesach. Re'ula, the Yidden Redeemed. The whole month, because of that, the whole month is in the Medrash refers to as the month of Re'ula. V'Nisan Nigalu, V'Nisan Masidim Nigal. Which means the whole month became transformed because of the special day, which is in that month. The whole month has a different theme, a different energy. So let's take a look at our month, the month of Tammuz. By the way, I mentioned before, Mishnichnas Adam Mari B'Simcha. So everyone knows about the opposites is Mishnichnas Av and Matnim B'Simcha. When Av comes in, then we have less Simcha. But there's a famous word. I think it's from Shimshon Strapala. He says that Mishenichnas, the Rebbe used to bring it a lot. Mishenichnas of the matin. We make less the things which are sad. How? Through besimcha, with simcha. Besimcha. That's the Shimshon Strapala. Siddur Shavart. Now we're gonna get to that soon. We're actually gonna throw that in towards the end about that. That also shows up. Obviously, api halacha, things which you're able to do api halacha, we try to find to add in symptom. So let's look at this month and see what's this month of Tammuz about. We're already 10 days in. But this is actually not only is also connects to also even the 9 days and the so this will carry us some hopefully some inspiration for the next while. So let's look at the month of Tammuz in the Torah Shabbat. Pasuk says in Nevi'im and Zechariah, Pasuk says about this month. It says that there is the Tzoim Revi. The Tzoim Revi. Tzoim is what? Tzoim is fast. Revi, what I mean, what's Revi? Yeah. Revi is not a day of the month. Revi is not a day of the month, it means four. What does Revi mean? The fourth month. Fourth month from when? So listen. Let's go. Nisim, Iyar, Sivan, Tammuz. So same Revi is referring to Tammuz. What fast do we have on Tammuz? Rivasa Tammuz. Right. So that's the day which we say Hufka here. The city was Yerushalayim. The walls were broken into. The enemy broke into it. So that's what the whole month is called. You see, the whole month is not. It doesn't say Soim of Shiva Aser. It's the same Revi. The month is referred to as same Revi. When you want to refer to the tinus, you refer to the month. So it seems like the month of Tammuz is connected with something not so happy, the opposite of happiness, the opposite of simcha. Right? Then starts Shiva of Tammuz, then starts the 3 weeks, which is sort of days of Avelus. On the other hand, so we find, on the other hand, we find in the recent years, like we just mentioned at the beginning, this month in the Chassidic calendar, the Frierdiker Rebbe, the Yosef Yitzchak, he was put in jail in Russia, communist Russia, for the sin of spreading Judaism, Yiddishkeit, Torah mitzvahs, and he was put in jail in Tesvav Sivan, arrested in Tesvav Sivan, and he was freed on the day of Yud. He was told that he's going to be freed on Yud Beis, and he was freed actually into the Gimel, Tammuz. And he wrote in his letter, he said that this is not a personal redemption, that I'm being freed. Not just me. But all those who Torah is beloved to them, Shem and mitzvahs, all those who are careful with the mitzvahs, even those who are just have a name that they're called a yid. It says yichuna, they're only their nickname, which means they don't identify with it as their main name. It's only their nickname. Even for them, it's also redemption. Because the redemption, well, simply put, is because when he was redeemed, it was a big boost for the Jewish pride, and so it was a geula for all Yidden. So that shows, as the Rebbe, that the day that the month is connected also with the geula. Right? We said that the days of that month show us that month what that month is about. Since the month is about the geula, since he was redeemed, he had a geula. So the Frierdiker Rebbe was redeemed, had a geula from jail. So it shows that the month of Tammuz is connected with geula. Chedesh HaGeula also. He was arrested on Tesvav Sivan, right? And he's redeemed Yud Beis Gimel Tammuz. They actually originally their plan was that it was a death sentence. That was the original plan. When he was brought to the office, he was able to see that was crossed out. He saw the file. File was on the table, and then supposed to be 10 years of labor in Slovakia, in a labor camp. And then it says net, and then it went to 3 years in Kostroma, in exile, in far off place. And he went over there on Gimel Tammuz. He left, and he came there he came there and he was there, and over there it changed that he was redeemed in on a few days later on Yud Beis Gimel Tammuz. So it was a drastic change from a death penalty to being freed. So it was a very big miracle. And so if he was redeemed on this month of Geula, and he says this is a Geula which is connected to which is connected to everyone. So it must be that the month of Tammuz also is connected to Geula. So we see two diametrically opposite events happening. On one hand, we're saying it's a very sad time. On the other hand, we're saying it's a time of Geula. Another place where we find that there's two opposites.
Was Teen jail twice?
When he was a kid, he was also in jail.
This is the main rule of that.
Yeah, this is like,
brain.
yeah,
You kill him.
the days ago, yeah. Unless there's another time also. No, but this is the main time.
What they are?
You know?
Hell.
You're right. His birthday is also on your base Tammuz. That's
Wow.
right. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
That's we still have more gold to verbrengen. That's what.
That's why that over.
L is also verbrengen.
Elos verbrengen.
Maybe.
Chayelos verbrengen. Voor Kaftet van Tzedek sometimes, yeah. Chayelo. Chayelo is the Yemeledes of Alter Rebbe, Lashem, Shnei Meires Geredim. By the way, just a side point is that we find a lot of things which we didn't know before, and they only came about. I'm saying Yiddishkeit. We find a lot of things that's in our history which we didn't have, like Yom Tov, which we didn't have before, and only came about later. For example, let's say Purim, right? Before Purim, there was no Purim, right? So it came the time that Purim came about, and from then on we celebrate Purim, right? So things are revealed later, right? So same thing also when we come closer to Ikkus and Shech, come closer to Geula. So we have Inyanim of Geula also. Okay, now we find another in Tammuz another two opposites. It says that the word Tammuz. Where do we find the word Tammuz in Nach? In Nach we find it in the Cheskel.
Tammuz is Hashem Avodah Zarah.
Oh, very good. Wow, it's very good. So the Talmud says Anashim Mevakis is a Tammuz. That in Azara, Tammuz was like a getchka they made, and they used to they heat it up, put a fire inside of it, and what happened was that because the fire it would start dripping, it started melting, so it was sort of like drip. So it looked like if the getchka was crying. And so then the woman, they would say, "Oh, it looks like the getchka, he's crying because he wants you to bring to krevis, wants you to bring food and to serve it." So that's from Mevakis es Tammuz. Anashim Mevakis es Tammuz. They used to make the getchka Tammuz, make it look like it's crying. So we see that Tammuz is connected with a pretty low thing. The name of Avodah Zarah.
It's Aramaic Tammuz, not Hebrew.
No, yeah. Yeah. Most of the names came from Babel. Most of the names of the months came from Babel, and these came up from Babel. So Tammuz, on the other hand, we find also from Chassidus. Chassidus also has over here something about Tammuz. That Tammuz also means, like we just said, means to fire up, to make heat. We find that the month of Tammuz is very hot. Right, the Gemara wants to say about a donkey how cold it is. It says that even in Tkufas Tammuz, literally, it's cold even in Tammuz. When it's not Tammuz, other months, other creatures are also cold. But it's saying donkey is such a cold thing that even in Tammuz, it's so cold. So Tammuz, as we know, is pretty hot. Depends on the day, huh? Depends on which. Yeah, we had some hot days.
Yeah.
So the Tkuf of Tammuz is hot. So in Kabbalah and Chassidus explains that the Shemesh, the sun, the source of the heat, is comes from what the pasuk says, Shemesh Umagi Navai Elokim. way we explain, the way Chassidus explain, Kabbalah Chassidus explains that Shemesh, they have the pasuk here, there's the one tight Shemesh means like a wool, but Shemesh means the sun is connected to Hashem Havaya of Hashem. Hashem's name of Havaya. Which means Chas v'shalom, obviously the Shemesh is a Shemesh, but its source above, where it comes from, because like everything in this world has a source above. Every single thing in this world comes from a spiritual source above. So what's the source of the Shemesh, of the sun? The sun has a source comes from the level in godliness called Havaya. And right, in Exodus, actually, when you see in Exodus, the Shemesh is used it's used for a lot of different different mashalim examples. When we want to talk about Hashem, so we want to explain. Let's say that Hashem doesn't change, right? Hashem doesn't change. So we say just like when the light of the sun comes out, the sun doesn't change if there's clouds blocking the light of the sun. So the sun always changes. It doesn't make a difference to it. So we want to say also, even though Hashem created the world and everything, Hashem remains the same, no change. We give a lot of examples. Exodus is full with these type of examples from the Shemesh. And the reason is because the source of the Shemesh, because above, has a very high spiritual source. So this that the sun is shining very strongly in the month of Tammuz. What does that show us? That shows us that the month of Tammuz has a special connection to revealing Shem Havaya. And to be strong revelation of godliness in this month. This month we're able to connect to a strong revelation. Very high. There's high Wi-Fi service over here in Tammuz. The Wi-Fi is shining.
5G. Huh?
Yeah, all of it. Yeah,
The full package. So now I have a question, me.
yeah.
It's a very difficult question.
No problem.
If
Go
you
for it.
don't know, don't answer.
Okay, I'll say I don't know.
It's a very something that's been preoccupied me
Go
for
for
a
it.
lot of times.
Go for it. What's there?
That's the question. On traité Avodah Zarah,
Yeah,
page 2b,
yeah,
Tosfot brings down
yeah.
when Persia will be in the hand of Rome, Mashiach comes. This is exactly what happens.
Persia what?
Huh?
Persia what?
When Persia will be, you can bring the, I don't know.
Persia what?
When Persia, Iran,
I heard you.
yeah, will be in the hand. It will
Yeah,
be
okay.
in the hand. It means in French. It means it will be. Oh, I can't. Yeah, it will be.
It will be in the hand of Iran.
And
In
Rome
the hands of Rome, so then the Sheikh will come.
beat Persia. Mashiach.
So what's the question? What's the question?
So this is what happened.
Okay, so what's your
So-
question?
My question: why Mashiach didn't come?
I don't know. Very good question.
It's not a good question.
It is an excellent question.
Tosfot bring down in
Good.
Tosfot page 2b.
You're right.
And this is exactly what happened, and Mashiach didn't come. So my
Well, I didn't beat it.
what?
Who says that, Peter?
Okay,
This is cool.
so let's.
Knocked out there the guy still walking around like Achaka Bachuga Biggie, salami, bologna, pastrami, just called Peter.
By the way, this week is.
I don't know, not in my book.
Most of the big Chacham right now over the world, they bring down that pasuk from the
They didn't
Tosfot,
beat him.
and they said right now that
Okay.
this is what exactly we're living.
Okay, so we need to make another shir about this. Okay,
Huh?
we need to make another class about this because it's a good question, and this is not a simple question right now. So we need to let's finish this.
This is what I told you
Right.
before.
Talk about next year.
It's a very good question.
We need a whole shir for this.
Even more than this, your whole life.
Whole life. There you go. You're right. Okay, so let's continue here. So we see two opposites. We see two opposites. On one hand, we're saying that Tammuz is connected to the name of Avodah Zarah. On the other hand, we're saying that there's a time when Hashem is revealed. Two opposites, right? Two opposites. Okay, two opposites again. Tammuz is the name of Avodah Zarah. On the other hand, we're saying it's connected to Hashem being revealed in this month. So two opposites again. So that's why we could call Tammuz, by the way. Why are we calling it Tammuz? It's the name of Avodah Zarah, even though the rule is that anything with the name of Avodah Zarah, you're not allowed to say, right? The Torah says, the shame, possibly the shame of the kim achedim leisaskidu. You're not allowed to mention the name of Avodah Zarah. How come we can mention Tammuz? So the answer al pi halach is because any name, the rule is any name which
That's a shame Elohim.
right, right. So he says, but any Avodah Zarah, the Gemara says any Avodah Zarah which is mentioned, which is written in the Torah, you're allowed to say its name. That's the rule. That's another whole discussion. It's connected to this week's parasha. Also, we have we mentioned someone. Right. Oy, v'dein, all the things. So all different, all the shame of it is other. But that's why it's okay. But why should we be mentioning Tammuz if it's not a good name? So over here we see that it also, we think about it as a connected heat of Hashem, a revelation of Hashem. Now,
You mean it's really good.
yeah, we refer to it as I that some people could think of it as Zara. The Gemara also in Avodah Zarah, right? We mentioned the Avodah Zarah. He says that's about the sun, right? Different things. He says that there's people who serve the sun as he says, "Ya Abba de lama b'nei hashaitim." Should we destroy the world because of shaitim? Okay, because they refer to Avodah Zarah. It means we can't have the sun. Say we can't. So we have a mind for good. The shaitim, they think about Avodah Zarah when they connect the Tammuz, they connect Avodah.
Which Avodah Zarah used to throw the kiss to the fire?
Lilac.
Because
Yeah.
Avodah Zarah, so the Goyim used to throw the kids to the fire.
Yeah,
Like a
it was very,
sacrifice, yeah.
unfortunately, it was very, fotzei.
So now
Which
there is, I'm going to make a little parenthesis and emphasize what you said about Purim.
Yeah. One second. Let's finish. Let's leave it for after, okay? Because we only have a few more minutes, so we're gonna get sidetracked. But you have good questions, okay? Let's wait for okay. Okay, thank you. So
Very spicy.
so he says that so we could connect it. We could say like this. What's the point of Galus? What's the point of Galus, right? Because on one hand we're saying there's Tammuz connected to the Zara, which is Tammuz connected to this fast and the days of mourning, the 3 weeks. On the other hand, we say that Tammuz is a happy day. So this brings that to the Geula. We're saying it's connected to the revelation of godliness. So on one hand, we could say that the purpose of the galus, of the suffering, of the bad, is in order that we should be able to come to the Geula. That's one way you could explain it. But we see actually that then it should have been first should be the days of mourning, and then afterwards should come the happy days. Should have been that way, because if the sad days is coming to bring the happy days, so the sad should have came first. Like you find in the month of Av, you find first you have the 9th day of Av, which is a sad day, and then you have Shabbos Nachamu, and you have Chamish Asar B'Av, which the Gemara says it's Leah Yom Tevim Chamish Asar B'Av, and Yom Kippur. So it should have been in that order. So we see that there's something already before the sad days that's connected to Geula. Explain like this. The month of Tammuz is about a fast. It's Shiva Asar B'Tammuz, same Revi. There's two ways how to look at this fast. Two ways how to look at it. Same. Two ways how to look at it. To look at it superficially, you can look at it a deeper look. The plemius. So the Chitzonius, the way you look at it superficially, it's a sad time. And that's why it's Tzoim. That's why it's 3 weeks. On the other hand, if you look at it deeper, the way it's going to be when Mashiach comes, it's going to be like we say, that these days are going to turn into Yom Tevim, happy days. Right? So it's not only that the punishment is for the Geula, but the actual fast itself, in if you look deeper, it's really Sasan and Simcha. Why? Because Sasan. Oh, there we go.
I tell you a story about Sasson the Simcha for
One
a
second, one second. Yeah.
Okay.
So Sasin, the Sasin and Simcha. Why is it Sasin and Simcha? Because you have a king, a great king, which is cleaning off him personally. He's cleaning off his only son from his schmutz. He's doing it out of love because he loves him. That's why he's cleaning him off. It says, Rachas Hashem Etzoyas B'nei Sion. Hashem cleaning off. Etzoya means all the Avedis, all the not good things, all the schmutz that got stuck to us, stuck to Yidden. That's what's really going on over here. It's painful. It's not fun. So on one hand, it's a tzoyim. It's a sad time. On the other hand, it's not coming from hate, Chas Hashem. Hashem loves the Yidden. It's coming from love, because Hashem loves his only son. That's why he's cleaning him up. So if you look deeper, right, the father's punishing the son. But why is the father punishing the son? He doesn't care if somebody else does misbehaves, doesn't bother him as much. Why does he bother him? Because his son. It's personal. He loves his son. So even though the father naturally could be a kind person, hopefully, I'm not talking about someone who's obviously abusive. I'm talking about a father who's naturally a very loving, kind father who really, really loves his kid. But because he loves his kids, he has to go against his nature in order to discipline his son. So the discipline is not fun. It doesn't look good. So you look at superficially and ask, look what's going on over here. It's saying it's available.
Rabbi say Hosech Shifto Soneh Beno.
No, yeah.
That's if you don't hit a little bit
Right.
aside, you hit.
Right? Very good pasuk, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Today, literally, we don't do
I
that.
like to do that.
But the idea of the pasuk it brings out the point.
How are you?
But so the point is that he's going against his nature, right? In order. So same thing also, and that brings out the love even more, because when he just gives, he spoils him. Okay, his son, his father wants to give. When he has to go against his nature, so that brings out the love even deeper. And it's interesting. I'll throw this in. It's not in this sikha, but it says that when the goyim came into by the time of the Churban, the goyim came in for the Kedesh HaKodashim, and they saw the Kruvim. It says the Kruvim were facing each other. It shows that the Yidden and Hashem, there's Ava between the Yidden and Hashem. So how do you understand that? At the time when Hashem is upset at the Yidden, the Churban, at that time they should be facing each other. And the same thing also you find by Bris Ben Abasarim. What's Bris Ben Abasarim? Hashem is making a treaty of love with Avraham Avinu. He's mentioning to him about the Galus. He's telling him he's going to write the whole story with the Nesha, with the vulture, with the whole story over there. Why is he mentioning Galus at this time? So again, there's also a mashal. Mashal brought you have a father is teaching his son, or a rebbe is teaching his students, and while he's teaching him, he suddenly gets this deep idea, very deep idea, and he stops for a moment to teaching the students, and he wants to focus on this deep idea which just came into his mind. And the purpose is he wants to eventually be able to give over this idea to the child, to the students. For the child, the student, he looks at his teacher, he looks at his father. His father's not speaking to him, not giving him attention right now. He's lost, he's somewhere else, and he thinks his father's, that's it, disinterested, disengaged, not interested in the situation, in him. And it's galus, it's Helen. It's not there, he's not present. I lost him. But really, what's going on? Really, because he loves him, because of his deep love, and that's why he wants to get this deep idea to be able to give him something even deeper. So he wants to give him over even more. So, if it's saying superficially, it looks like something which is maybe a helen, a concealment. of God, something which is sad. On the other hand, in Pneumius, see, really, there's a deeper love over here. Interesting thing, also like like connections. So it says when they make the calendar in Shulchan Aruch, they bring the different simanim of how you make sure the year works out. So one of the simanim, for example, says they use atbash. Atbash we know is when you change the aleph for the taf and the beis Hashem, but if it uses it for a siman, right? But it uses it over there as a siman. For example, aleph and taf. Aleph, the first day of a Pesach is going to be whatever day the first day of Pesach is going to be. That's going to be the same day as taf, the Tisha B'av. It's going to be the same day. Which means Geula, so Geula and Tisha B'av. And by the way, Shivas of Tammuz is the same as Tisha B'av, same day. It works out of the same kriyas.
We hope this year not Tisha B'av.
Amen. I'll be a Yom Tov, even better. Oh, so I want to talk about that. So that's what we want to talk about.
This is saying already. This Tammuz is you.
She's saying Shivas of Tammuz is Sunday. Or is the Chatchila? Is it maybe the Chatchila Sunday? It's the Chatchila Sunday.
That is fact.
It is Sunday. It's Sunday. Because we just said Shivas of Tammuz is Sunday. It's the same as Tisha B'av also.
It's going to be Sunday.
So what he just said right now, so this explains also an interesting thing. Okay, why are we saying that Tisha B'av? We say that it's going to become a Yom Tov. It said Yehafko Yom Amelu L'Sas and L'Simcha. Okay, you're going to build the Beis HaMikdash. You're not going to have any more Churban. You're not going to have a Churban Beis HaMikdash. So there's no reason anymore to be sad on Tisha B'av because you're going to have the Beis HaMikdash again. But why does it have to become a Yom Tov? What the Yom Tov is whenever the Beis HaMikdash is built. What's Tisha B'av? Why should it be a Yom Tov? Someone said they asked this question, and the answer is like we just said. The answer for all this is that, that even now, it's not only Ramesh. Even now, what's the deeper meaning of Tisha B'av, of the sad days? The deeper meaning is the love which Hashem has for the Yidden. As long as now what we see is sort of the anger and the discipline, the severity, the gvura. So then you don't see that love. It's not felt. It's behelim. But after, when it's not going to be any more this din, when he finished all this din and this gvura, when it's finished, when Mashiach is going to come, then we're going to be revealed what was there all along. It's not that only later it's going to become, like we're saying that the Gula is going to bring the Gula, but it's going to show that even now, really, that's what's going on. And this is because since why do we know about this now? All the years it's going the sad day. Why suddenly Chassidus comes along and brings out this idea? Is because since we're coming closer, Ikvus and Mashiach are coming closer to Mashiach, right? You said. So therefore, we need hachana as preparation for that. We already start having the miracle of Yud Beis Gimel Tammuz, which in that also you saw a great. That even though it was very difficult, it was very painful in the arrest. But then it came out that showed that there was just a preparation to be able to come out and spread Yiddishkeit to Chassidus the whole world.
Now see, this is Mashiach.
So this is preparing. It's like what's with Mashiach? Mashiach, it says Mala Adas Deis Hashem Kamayim. The pasuk says, the Rambam brings it. And Mala Adas Deis Hashem Kamayim Yidam Mechas. And Mashiach's going to come. It says. The Chachamim, the whole Isaac, the whole world, Kol Eilam, the whole idea, there's going to be Ladas Hashem. They're going to want to know about Hashem. So that's what's going to be Mashiach comes.
Only Chassidus knows about Hashem.
No, everything knows about Hashem, but it says in Eitz Chaim it brings that we're going to be able. Mashiach's going to come. We're going to know the dinim. We're going to know the dinim. We're going to have the winner once. It's not going to be a shich. We're not going to forget anything. We're going to know the whole nigla of the Torah. We're not going to have to forget it. We're not going to forget it. And so the whole idea is going to understand deeper and deeper in Hashem.
And the Goyim will be our slave.
Like the Rashi also says in Shir Hashirim.
I heard that the Goyim will be the Yidden slave.
Yeah. So
I think the Zohar
it says in Shekeni Mashiach's Piyut, it says the Mashiach is going to come in the Gala, the Soid, the Mitzvunei of the Torah, the Pneumius of the Torah. We're going to see in right now we can learn Sher Shanagach as a Para. We can learn a nice piece of Gemara, and we can enjoy it, and we think it's the same thing, like Chas V'Shalom Lahavdil, like a legal law document. Not necessarily do we feel that it's Hashem's Torah. So she has an account. We're going to see the Shir Shanag Zapata. We're going to see how it's connected to Hashem. We're going to see the premiums of it. Torah Chadashim. Chas Shalom is no Torah Chadashim, right? Chas Shalom, Torah was only given one time in Matan Torah, but everything, the time of everything is Gala, right? Like we have Yegilul Midas, everything the time of Vasik, also the Chadish was already given Matan the Shas Har Sinai. So that's since it's coming closer to Gula, so that brings it up. So the one of the heroes. Let's just see it's getting late. One of the heroes we could take from this, because when coming the time of Bein HaMetzarim these days, a person could become a little bit sad, could be a little depressing. So a person could feel despair, yush. Right? How am I going to overcome a lot of the Schwierigkeiten, a lot of Nisyonos, a lot of challenges, whether Begashmias, whether Beruchnias, a lot of everyone knows, right? That everyone knows themselves and what goes on in the world. So a person could say, "Oh, how am I going to get over this bitter galus? How am I going to deal with this all these difficulties?" So that's why that Dafka in our generation, in the Ikris Mashiach. So Pnimis HaTorah revealed that in that we should know that it's not about us being down. We should know that Hashem loves us. That's what's really going on over here. It's love. You have to focus on that. And that's what Yibbe Gimel Tammuz encourages us with this idea to focus on what's really going on. Obviously, we have to do all the halachis, what it says in Shulchan Aruch. We have to do all the things of Avelus, the Bein HaMetzarim, right, with all the details. But we could find al pi Torah certain things to do, which you could do simcha even in these days. For example, you can make a siyum masechta, right? That's the minhag to make siyum masechtas, right? Which it says in the Gemara. It says when one of the tzura the rabbanim, someone makes a siyum masechtas, yom hatam l'rabbanim, it becomes a yamtiv, like a yamtiv, right? And some people eat meat when you make a siyum in the 9 days. Or b'chlal, we learn more Torah. It says that's the Kudi Hashem and Shalom is Samchi Leiv. The learning Torah, adding in Torah adds in Simcha, Samchi Leiv. Especially the halachas of Hilchot Beis HaBechira, which is halachas about building the Beis HaMikdash. So that's which it says. The Medrash says that Hashem said to Yecheskel that they should tell the Yidden how to build the Beis HaMikdash. He said, "What do you mean? The Yidden are in Galus now; they can't build the Beis HaMikdash." He said, "But when you learn the halachas and all the details of the Beis HaMikdash, is as if you're building the Beis HaMikdash." So Medrash time full. So even though we can't physically build the Beis HaMikdash, but when we learn the Hilchos Beis HaBechira, so we're building the Beis HaMikdash. Which all these adding in Simcha, that's going to bring the Gila Pnimius of Bein HaMetzarim. How it's going to be Mashiach, it's going to come, when it's going to be L'Sasim, L'Simcha, and Le'edim Tevim.
I want to say about Sasim Basimcha.
Yeah.
My grandfather,
Wow,
my grandfather was a shochet of the Ben Ish Chai.
right.
When I met my wife after the army
Yeah.
in end of 72, 73,
Yeah.
we got engaged. She's American.
Yeah.
And I told her, let's go to Sabbath to get the bracha.
Yeah.
So went to my grandfather, Sabbath, this is my future kalaf.
Yeah.
I want to get the bracha.
Yeah.
So my name is Sas.
Yeah.
She asked me, what's her name?
Yeah.
I said, Yehudi. She looked at me and said,
Okay.
maybe she has English name. He doesn't know English, boy. I said, yeah, she has one. What's her name? Joyce. What to Joyce? To Joyce, Simcha.
Oh, wow.
I said, I was looking for Sasson and Simcha. You build a bite Ne'eman and your house will be full with ochel together.
Man, wow, Shkaya. Beautiful, that's a nice one. How did he know to ask the English name?
Don't ask me.
Rabbi Shkaya. Shkaya, thank you very much. Shkaya.
Who ate bagels? Wash. Yeah, you have Rabbi Klein.
Rabbi Samuel mentioned.
Yashikoach, beautiful job.
The kids are not going there, so I can't always okay with them, but just FYI.
We want people in to lead the temple, so we have to be respectful.
That's the guy was right. Here,
I want you to lead the temple. I want to know we're talking about man. Actual temple.
Amen, amen.
We don't want this to move. We want the cleanliness and the
Amen, amen.
we don't want as if. We want the temple. We don't want anything as if.
Yeah,
20 years back.
yeah.
That's what we should.
Facts, yeah.
If we do one more good deed, I will be back.
So, how you doing?
just come there, so I said, pick it up. You'll say, yeah. I had it, I was gonna get this.
Amazing.
Chris.
You should have sausage soda with the right? Like, yes,
Oh, man.
Man, man.
You hope you have a great summer.
Me too.
Maybe, yes,
أصلاح العابة.
I guess.
Ja, dat zijn we zo. Wat ik wil gaan zeggen. Wat wil ik dat zeggen?
Well, you have to make it seriously.
You didn't ask me tonight.
Every day, the green shoes.
I know it's like a change. Won't be available Sunday morning.
Probably will be a message. Paris sends out messages. We can check over there. So, how about that?
I'll see you at 30.
Thank you. How are you?
Oh, nicely accomplished shooting. Nice.
So, yeah, thank you.
Oh, wow.
That's nice. Yeah, I'm here.
Stuff in the show.
Amazing.
I'm trying.
Wake you up for chocolate.
I'm trying. No, I ate.
Yeah, when you was here last time, they tried again, right?
Yeah, good memory, yeah? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, by the way, I remember last time when you were here.
I teach during the year, so this is my Sunday's better.
Okay, everybody for coming. Next week, you want to have some Pastor Tammuz chocolate, you have to contact parents. Maybe we make a minion, I don't know. But no breakfast, okay?
I was gonna say, Rabbi, the last time when you were here, right? I remember afterwards he told me, he told me thank you for your input for that year. So I'm sure you probably did the same thing.
100%. Thank you. Thank you for your input. That's exactly.
Someone contributing and seeing
100%.
See, remember the words that you said.
Wow, you're great. Thank you. Thank you.
Remembering that.
Yeah, wow. You have a memory. Yeah.
Very good.
Wow, Baruch Hashem, yeah. Keep being involved. That's how the energy goes. Yeah. Yeah, all too, yeah. What's forever? You too.
I'll make a married person. You get married in the art. You meet someone, someone, I can take you there. Also, it's good you go and you learn what about them. Yeah, they'll learn what you know.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Rabbi, so the temple is going to come down for Shemaim, or we're going to build it? What's the story?
Oh, that's a great question. So there's many different answers for that. One of the answers is that it's going to come in the Shemayim, but Mashiach is going to build the doors, the gates. Another answer is that we're going to build a Gashmi sticker one, and then the Rukni sticker based on mixture come into the Gashmi sticker, because the Rambam says that Mashiach is going to build it.
Okay.
And but the Rashi brings sukkah that's going to come from Shemayim. So
Quelli built up already. They're doing calcula. Not going to be built like you say. It's already built up. But it depends on us, Kelan Israel. Everyone supposed to contribute with the brick, with the tool. I'm talking about it. The kitchen. צריך אחדות. מה שחסר בין היהודים, סליחה.
So Rashi says from Shemaim, let me get this clear, because I have the rabbi here. I don't want to.
Rashi says in Sukkah that it comes from Shemayim.
Okay.
And the Rambam says that Malach Mashiach is going to build it.
When you say Mashiach, are we? He said Mashiach. It's Mashiach.
Yeah, he's going to represent us.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Maybe we're
We all have a piece of Mashiach in
So
us.
maybe someone can, you know, like when someone, let's say contractor or whatever it is, a GC, can we represent what that's something like what does it mean Mashiach? Could be a person or maybe we're all also Mashiach.
Right.
Is that a possibility? I mean, is that